We'll call the agenda meeting to order. And so we will turn it over to Mr. Ryan Durham, please, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you giving me 5 seconds. Yep. The Lawrence County High School summer ball team is playing today, and literally my son was just getting a base hit as the gavel pounded. So, but I got to see that.
Well, yes, sir.
We have a great asset in exports in this community.
For sure. Amen. Yes, we do.
All right, so before you, there should be extra copies if you don't necessarily have one. You're welcome to. We have a draft of the agenda for the July meeting. Now, these are items that have been brought to my attention, and the purpose of this meeting is to, one, make sure that I haven't missed anything that someone has suggested to me, and for you all to add things to the agenda as members. So you'll see we'll have the typical financial reports at the beginning of the meeting, of course, after the roll call, invocation, and pledge, our public comments period, and then there will be the report of the resolution committee. That'll happen after that meeting, or after that committee meets before the session. And then we have a slew of memorials and honorariums. Most of them having to do with school kids from Lawrence County. Travis had originally mentioned to me the first one, honoring the LCHS baseball team for making it to the state tournament for the first time in such a long time. I did want to mention it to him. I haven't seen Travis's. I missed it right. I happen to know that several of those players are going to be out of town at this meeting because they're either in end of the year family vacations or travel ball that are pretty heavy recruiting areas. So it may be that one, if he is so inclined, it gets bumped to the next one when there might be more people there. The next is honoring Boone Gobble, who was elected the president of the National Senior Beta Club. Really, really big deal. And then the LPS Junior Beta Club, or that's actually the LPS Elementary Beta Club.
Yeah.
But, well, they still call it junior, I think. I'll confirm that. But they had a great run at their national convention. The fourth, fifth, and sixth are all of the local Cal Ripken teams that won their respective state tournaments. And those were brought up to me by several of you. So that's what I have for memorials and honorariums for this meeting. Anybody have any others that we want to add or that I've missed from our previous conversations?
I'll be glad to take volunteers to read some of these, though, if y'all want to, if whoever wants to. I don't know if we could do it now or not, but we ought to honor Angie Jacobs for her years of service.
Okay.
I guess we give a Brandy on the information, whatever we need to do. We
I don't know how long she's been here now.
Yeah,
I don't think that she said 17 years.
yeah, something like that.
Hey Shane, I'd be willing to read the LPS one and the 8U, because my kids are both in there.
Got you. All right, I'll put you down.
I'll do the 9U since my
9.
P.U.'s on
All
there.
right. That'll work. We'll figure out the rest on the day of.
All right. So I'll add one for Angie, and I'll get that information from Brandy and collect it around from other sources too. Then we turn our attention to the resolutions. The first will be approving the minutes from both the May regular meeting and June special session. And of course, we'll have those, I think Russ has already circulated those, but we'll make sure to get those circulated to the resolution committee prior to the resolution committee meeting, so you can actually have seen them. Then the third item is a proposed 12-month moratorium on the development of data centers that Shane and Wayne Yoakum have asked me to draft. Shane has provided a couple of similar resolutions from other municipalities that we're reviewing. I'll certainly provide a legal opinion about such a moratorium once we see what the actual language is. I will say at the outset, though, it seems highly likely that without a system of zoning in place, that the county itself may very well not have the authority to actually issue a moratorium that's enforceable. Now, that doesn't mean that the county couldn't say we prefer there to be while there's a study going on, but I'll opine on that once we see what the actual language looks like. And Shane, I hope to have you guys a draft to look at this week.
Okay.
And when it's satisfactory to you two as sponsors, then I'll do that.
Okay.
What would it look like would the commission have to approve like a special committee to study the zoning capabilities or possibilities? Similar to what y'all did with the rules committee, would that be something that could be done to begin that process, or?
Yes, it could be done. Matter of fact, I think CTAS recommends that type of stepped process in getting to that point. Now, I'd have to look about whether it actually requires a commission vote to create it, or as a study committee, if that can be done by either of the two of you, Shane as chair and you as county executive. But it certainly can happen, and though it might have more legs if it does come forward as a resolution.
I do know Grundy County passed theirs May the 18th, and they don't have codes or zoning, and they put that specific language in there to study zoning or land use development. So we can put that in there somewhere to kind of help alleviate a little bit. I think that would help a lot.
I certainly do think, having not studied that one yet, that could be helpful. And remember, and I'm going to use this as a silly example, this body can can pass a resolution purporting to convey the White House to JFK's ghost.
Right.
But that doesn't make it enforceable.
It's one thing to make a
that's
statement,
silly.
it's another thing to have teeth to it.
It is, and where I think where the rubber might meet the road is if a developer were to challenge that, and your instructions as a commission to me or whoever be to push back on that challenge and actually try to have it upheld in court. Those are different things. But it certainly deserves a well-reasoned look, and I'll be happy to get that moratorium resolution drafted with the language about studying for future purposes, and get that to you two as sponsors.
Okay.
The next are far more boring resolutions. The county has to certify the tax rate that will come through the budget committee. That's the fourth one. I typically don't number these before today's meeting, but they just sort of fell into place and are further along in their development than they sometimes are at the agenda meeting. So then after that, the fifth one is to approve the nonprofit and charitable contributions that did have come through the budget committee. Each of these are budget committee items. There's approving the distribution of the hotel motel tax, approving allocation of a portion of the opioid abatement settlement funds. As I understand, that one has not yet come before the budget committee, but there may in fact be a meeting called to look at that. I think that just got left off the table by mistake. But assuming it comes before the budget committee, it would be on the agenda. Of course, all these have to be finally approved to the extent they have not already been.
That come through, we probably just didn't vote on it. That was in our
Opioid
budget
stuff we
package.
didn't. And I wanted to recommend, is this a good time to say?
Sure, anytime.
I wanted to recommend a 1-year relief fund for Lawrence County cattlemen. So the state has cut the funding for dead stock removal from $300,000 down to $100,000 for 10 counties. That's gonna put about a $50 per head burden on every single dead animal in the county. For about $75,000 more dollars, we can cover that cost for a year. I'm optimistic that with the new governor, we can get that funding reestablished. It's only $300,000 for 10 counties. They have a surplus as of 10 months in. They have $250 million more dollars than they budgeted to have in revenue, and they're going to cut this dead stock program by $300,000, which is, to me is ridiculous. So I want to recommend a resolution that would just say Lawrence County government is going to fund this reprieve, if you will, for a year while pursuing funding sources from the state.
Would you,
Upon passage, it would amend the budget automatically.
Sure.
Be automatically amended, but just come pull it out of fund balance, basically.
Can I co-sponsor that?
Yes, sir.
Or you want the whole committee, the whole commission?
I'd say the whole, I'd say the whole commission if David's okay with that.
I'm fine with that. I like it when we all agree on something.
you'll,
That don't always happen.
we'll want to see, we'll want to consider whether that needs to go to budget. If we're
That's
already
what I just
gonna have
asked.
another one.
Yeah, we are gonna have another budget meeting, so I'm gonna bring that up to the budget meeting too.
That way we'll.
But I don't see a problem in getting it
I
passed.
think you can, you can have a sponsor, co-sponsor, the county executive can do it even without going through budget. So
Can
either,
if the
That's
whole
right.
commission
yeah,
votes on it.
either way, yeah, I have no.
Either way, it will amend the budget if it gets passed. I just met with Farm Bureau's board today and talked with a lot of them about some of these issues.
Comptroller likes those items that amend the budget to make its way through budget committee.
Well, we can do that for sure.
All right. So then I think we've made it to the fixing the tax levy. Again, that's an annual thing that goes along with the budget. And then the last one is the budget with its fancy title, making appropriations for various funds. Those are the items that I am aware of to be before the commission in July.
I've got one more.
Yes, sir.
Sheldon said to remind, and this should have came from facilities.
Okay.
We've got to have a contract with the state for them to build that radio tower. And it should, he said it come through facilities, but it's supposed to come. But David's gonna have to sign a contract with the state to okay, so they'll build it.
We're gonna get some state money back. Praise the Lord. Keep 7 cents of every dollar.
So I'll get Sheldon to give you the line. I don't know what the language would be.
All right.
So the tax levy, for anybody that doesn't know this yet, it's currently 2.019, but it's gonna go down to 1.48. So it's about a 26% decrease in the tax rate. So if you're figuring your appraisals now, figure it at the lower rate. And a lot of people are learning that they're actually paying less dollars this year with a higher value on their home than they paid the last appraisal cycle. So do your math on that. If you have an older home that has depreciation, you will pay less than you did last year because we lowered. So we set the budget at 1.48, so that's where we're at, which is one of the lowest property tax rates in the country. And I'm proud of that, even though our values are going up.
Any other commissioners? Steve?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a road, I believe the funds are very close to meeting the amount that we discussed previously about getting for the unapproved roads. There was a list that was grandfathered in. They're very close to meeting the amount that they need to have that done. If they are able to get the funds this month, I would like to, Ryan actually said he wanted to have a highway committee this month anyways. He wanted to have a meeting anyway, so if they can get that in time, I would like to see that on the end of the month.
Is that Michael Drive?
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we're there.
That's It's a miracle.
Yeah. Decade or so on the county.
What's that?
It's about a decade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or two.
I think I've heard that name since I've been on.
Well, we've
I've been here 7 years.
They're about to put it to rest. So.
Been there a long time,
Good.
kinda like me.
Any other commissioner need something for the agenda?
If I get in, we'll pay.
That sounds good, I think that's about all we got.
All right.
I guess, I need that list down there, Christian, I do believe. Thank you, sir. Anybody else before we stop the agenda stuff, and then we'll go to the public comments? Okay, so that ends that business, the business of the agenda, so we'll go to public comments. Ms. Sherry,
Yes,
you were up first. You got 3 minutes. You get-
all right. I'm here to say that most of us in the West Point area do not at all, under any circumstances, want data centers. And, before any, I know, and I'm glad to hear that y'all are making the moves that you're gonna make. As far as zoning, please move to change the zoning, because that is the ultimate way that we're gonna secure our well-being and livelihoods. Those of us out in the rural and forested areas of the county moved there because we did not want to be around those sorts of things. And so please consider that. Also too, where I'm at in West Point, we run a big a nonprofit private foundation animal rescue, including large animals. Many of these animals will be very sensitive to anything like that if it comes in upstream from us or downstream from us, either way. We're all on well water. That is a big consideration. Also too, in this process, please do not allow for any of them without a full environmental impact study. There's already studies out there that can be had. I've been gathering them in files if you need them. I'm connected to environmental groups all over the country. So please keep in mind who your people are. We want to trust you and we want to count on you. This is what the people want. I think y'all are hearing it loud and clear now. We've got signs all over the county. People are messaging me daily, wanting more signs, asking what can we do. People are frustrated. They're frantic. We know what these data centers do. And just because Scale Point, they say that they're going to start off small, I know from my environmental friends all over the country that is not the case. They start small, they go big. They're horribly devastating. I mean, I'm sure y'all have been following some of this and you know this. Also to keep in mind, when you're making decisions, would you want to live next door to one of these? Would you want to live anywhere near one of these? Also too, I'm also here because where I live on Waterloo Road is towards the end on Chisholm Creek. Years ago when we had the flood in 2010, it was closed we were at the end of the road for about 2 years. When they came back in and put the new road in the bridge, they made the bridge nice and wide, but they didn't put any culverts back in the road leading to the bridge. That's a low area and that's the overflow for that creek when it fills up. Now the road is acting like a dam and every time we get heavy rain, it is flooding acres of our lower part of our property. And we can't even use it. And we want to be able to use this land for our animals. I've mentioned this off and on for years and nothing's been done about it. Our driveway is a mess, the culvert, and what's some of the cause for our driveway being a mess and causing us to flood in the road right there is timber activity that occurred up the road. I watched the county come in and fix their driveway and their culverts, and the church is still overflowing. They're done with it now. We bought that piece of property after they butchered it. The chert is still flowing into the stream, into the main creek. It's full of chert now.
Ms. Sherry, that's your 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. So please help us with our road.
Sure, we'd like to invite you to come to the next highway committee meeting. Just pay attention to when that is, and I'll try to reach out to you, let you know, so you can come and talk about those culverts.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, David, I think it's the first time I've ever heard this. And
Yeah, it's
I'm on
pretty
the
bad.
highway
It's right out there
committee,
by my farm. I've seen it when it's flooded. It's
It
bad.
needs to be brought to the highway committee.
It is bad.
Next up is Ms. El McKee.
We can get them down.
Hi, hello. My name is Elle McCann. I'm from Etheridge, Tennessee. Today I am bringing with me the online petition calling for an 18-month moratorium. We are up to 7,435 signatures, which was 153 pages on my printer, and we had paper ballots as well. Like Sharif said, there's definitely a need for this now, and we're seeing the desire of people wanting to make sure that there's time where studies have been taken place to make sure that our water is protected, that it doesn't harm our well water, that our lands are protected. These data centers create heat islands that can then harm the environment, that our animals are protected and wildlife, as well as our health with all of the noise pollution that they can generate as well. That we're seeing all this happen across the country, happening really fast. And like Sheree mentioned, they're coming in saying that they want something small and they're scaling up, up, and up. So we definitely need to have some zoning in place in the county. And I think the moratorium that was put forward tonight would be a great opportunity to actually slow down, take time to do the studies, and make sure that if a data center is going to be built in Lawrence County, that it's in an appropriate area, that it doesn't affect people as minimally as possible, and that it's smart for the county. We're seeing all of these issues pop up across the United States, even in our own state in Memphis, and we're seeing the after effects of these projects being pushed through too quickly or zoning not being put in place. We want to make sure that their time is taking place at the front end to make sure that everything is done correctly. I know that in the past it was not seen as popular when you had a codes and zoning committee. However, I think you can see that the awareness is up with just people across the country as well as our county that this is actually something that we're asking for, and it can be common sense. We don't have to be saying what farmers can do on things. We can be really targeted with the approach and making sure that it's about high capacity facilities that are meant to come in and take our resources for profit.
Thank you.
That's rough, buddy.
You don't want to say the last name?
I don't know if I can or not, so, I don't want to murder me, you know what I'm saying?
Drop my last
So,
I'm Tiffany Charbonnet, that's how we say the last name. I have to read because there's a lot of detail. I am live in Lawrenceburg. So the feeling that we've been getting over the last few months is that city and county leaders can't do anything about the data centers, the zoning's all not there, etc. However, we've got plenty of cities and counties in Tennessee. Loudoun County approved a 6-month pause on new data centers over 50 megawatts. Bedford County Planning Commission officially recommended a 1-year moratorium on large-scale AI data centers developments for the unincorporated areas. The city of Shelbyville is coordinating similar local action to pause the developments. Woodbury, the county seat passed a proactive ordinance to prohibit data centers from operating within its town limits. Cedar Hill imposed a 2-year moratorium on data centers and crypto mining. Coffee County passed a 1-year moratorium. Knox County approved a 1-year moratorium on drafting regulations. Dixon County had a 6-month moratorium on new data centers. Maury County's Planning Commission has recommended a 1-year moratorium for the county commission in consideration, and they are voting this month. We all know what's going on with Metro Nashville. I don't need to repeat all that. Warren County and City of McMinnville voted for a 1-year moratorium. We're asking Lawrence County, this has been proposed today, so this was already written up. We're asking Lawrence County to be next. We are not immune to the impacts of what the data centers have on our communities. The citizens want transparency and responsible growth. The county, if the county zoning can't be agreed on, please consider options such as Tennessee Code 51118, the County Powers Act that allows counties without zoning to regulate industrial activity. Please consider an 18-month moratorium as we are asking the city to do so everyone can properly research what this means for Lawrence County. Thank you.
thank you. Mr. Ricky Cromwell, you.
Hi guys, happy to be here. This is kind of look to the future here. Lawrence County is at a crossroad as a lot of communities in Tennessee and across the nation are. We are and always have been an agricultural community, strong ties to the past. From our large farming industry, which is the #1 industry in Lawrence County, if I'm not mistaken on that. Local tourism, hardly do. Our Amish neighbors and friends that we have here that we all love and cherish. I know I do. I have many friends in, and I'm sure you guys do too. Our county here, along with strong moral values by our citizens, we're now at a place, none of us ever foreseen, I sure didn't, I don't think any of us really did see this coming. Sort of blindsided by it all. A petition, that the lady said, you know, we've got over 7,000 people to sign a petition for at least a moratorium, and I think that's not very much to ask, really. That gives all of us, you and us all, to work together to come to the right decision on where to put these things and how to do that. The second thing is the zoning thing. Now look, I'm a retired contractor, and I can tell you first off, I do not like government control when it comes to building anything on my property, yours, or anyone else's, but we're at a place today, a total different place than we've ever been here. We have to have some zoning put in place to regulate these industries that really are not even welcome in our county by our citizens, for sure. Like I say, I don't like rules, but there are many ways to construct that, I think, whereas it works for what we want as a people, and to do it over these industries. And we don't have to mess with the farmers, we don't have to mess with the home builders out in the county, we don't need that. I worked in Lawrence, Giles, Murray, Wayne County, I've dealt with the building inspectors and all these other counties, and let me tell you, the corruption is deep there. If you slip them the money, they're gonna go ahead and pass it. Ask the bankers. I have banker friends that worked in Murray County, they'll tell you the same thing. They wouldn't even use the contractors from Murray County and other places where they had those because of that very thing. They would go to somebody like me that didn't deal with that and was outside that to build their home. This is where we're at. Look, you guys are in a very unique position. Very unique, I think. You guys could come out being the heroes for the whole county through this, for sure. If you'll do the right thing here. And I think all of you really want to do that. And we're here to help. We want to help you to find the path in which to do this. And let's do it together. We're stronger together than we are separated, right? Are we not?
That's right.
And we're all in this together. But you know, the legacy we're going to leave for our children and grandchildren, all of you. I have 17. I have one great-grandson. I know all of you have family like that. What we're going to leave them is what's important to me. At the age I'm at, I'm 66-year-old. I probably don't have a lot of years left. But the legacy that we leave for them, for the future generation of this county, is what counts with me. And I think it should with all of you. So if you guys will treat this as the way I see this, trying to take care of the future generation of this county, I think you'll do the right thing here. And I have faith that you're going to do this. I do. Yep. We all got blindsided, like I say. This all happened. Nobody saw this coming. We kind of talked. We got to talk to Richard down this.
Did you say 17 kids?
17 grandchildren.
Grandchildren.
17 grandchildren. Yeah, we have about 9 of them every other weekend together. So, yeah.
Well, I will adjourn.
But thank y'all.
Oh, can I present something to y'all that I can give to y'all that y'all can take a look at? There are a few little typos I need to, but you'll get the gist of it. This is concerning data
Yes,
centers.
ma'am, thank you. That's all of the agenda.
Thanks y'all for having us.
Thank
Thank you all.
Thank you for allowing us to speak.